It may not be the vaccine that we're all anxiously awaiting, but the influenza vaccine is an equally important tool in our health arsenal. Even though Belize doesn't have a designated flu season, there are times of the year when doctors see a spike in cases.
We got hot weather and cold weather, or rainy weather and dry weather. But at the end of the year, around the time when we see more numbers of respiratory illnesses, the flu being one of them, no?
The flu shot is produced annually, providing coverage for the flu strains that scientists expect to be more common.
So you give like 1.1% off of the disease itself, but it stimulates, it triggers your immune system, okay? And that's how vaccines work, okay? Basically, that's the concept. You get one lead, 0.1% of the whole 100, so that your body can respond to it, make antibodies so that when you get in front or get confronted by the real virus, then it don't have defense. So that's how vaccines work. You might still have only flu-like symptom, you might still get only sniffles, and you could, but what it does, it minimizes the chance that you get it serious, okay? So that's a benefit.
So I have less likelihood of getting a pneumonia and ending up in the hospital.
Correct. The flu vaccine is recommended strongly, especially for those vulnerable groups, the elderly over 60 or 65, the people with other conditions, especially respiratory conditions like bronchial asthma, like chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, emphysema, chronic bronchitis, people who have HIV, people who have any type of immune compromise. Those are the first ones that should seek their flu vaccines, and the general public, if possible, get theirs too.
Now, these vulnerable groups are similar to those most at risk for severe forms of COVID-19. And while there are similarities between symptoms of COVID-19 and the regular flu, they're two different illnesses caused by two different viruses. And early studies show that you can have both at the same time, which is why doctors are urging people to get their flu shot.
Studies have shown that both the COVID and the flu can coexist. So imagine if you have that's a double whammy, okay? Because you have both been infected with the flu virus and the COVID virus, okay? The other way of looking at it, that flu vaccines, although it's not 100% foolproof, it does reduce the chances that you get one flu or get it seriously. So by getting people vaccinated, it will take away that burden that, hey, this is more than likely than one flu because she has had or he has had a flu vaccine. So that's another way of looking at it, no? That it helps for the caregivers, helps for the people who are involved in healthcare to say, okay, if this person come with respiratory symptoms and had a flu vaccine a couple of weeks ago, then the chances of it being a flu is less. So let me not waste time and think that just one flu, but go right to COVID, no?
This year, the Ministry of Health has secured 40,000 flu vaccines to be administered for free at public health clinics. It is currently available to specific vulnerable groups, which include children 6 to 23 months, adults 65 years and older, healthcare workers, and persons with heart or lung disease, including asthma, and chronic conditions such as diabetes, kidney conditions, and HIV. You can also get your flu shot at private institutions like BMA for a fee. Dr. Cuellar notes that they have seen a lot of interest from the public.
I tell you, for the past month and a half, people have been calling, do you have flu vaccines? Because they're hearing, they're reading, they're exposed to what's happening in the world, no? And that's the recommendation. But there's definitely, I was getting upset with my people that we're not getting our flu vaccine quick enough because there's a demand for it.
And what's the cost?
Correct, I'm not sure, but I think it's about $75 Belize for a flu vaccine.
And it lasts for?
It lasts for the year, okay? Remember, this is a yearly thing.
He adds that all persons, not just those considered vulnerable, can benefit from getting vaccinated. It is hoped that with increased flu vaccination coverage and strict adherence to COVID preventative measures, there should be fewer flu cases making people sick and requiring medical attention.
Hey, maybe we should not be seeing so much numbers of flu vaccines or gastroenteritis or these types of conditions that are transmitted that way, because everybody did wash their hand, everybody got on a face mask. Well, not everybody, but a lot compared to last year. We know nobody got on no face mask. But so I am anxious to see the numbers that will be presenting for this year, no? Indeed, because of exactly what you're saying. We're hoping that will be the case now.